Everyone is trying to get rid of stress, reduce it, manage it, avoid it altogether. And I want to tell you that that is the wrong goal entirely. In this video, I'm going to show you why stress is not your enemy and what actually happens when you convert it into being your best friend. A few years ago, I moved country and signed a lease on an apartment that I couldn't really afford at the time. I left behind everything familiar: people, places, certainty, a version of life that I'd built myself. And I remember this feeling in my gut the whole time, this just kind of low level feeling of scared tightness. That's the best way of describing it. And at the time, I interpreted it as a warning. This is a mistake. You're not ready. Go back. But here's what I know now that I did not know then. That feeling was not a warning. It was a signal. My body was telling me that I was stepping into something bigger than where I had ever been before. Something that required a different version of me to show up. And when I look back at every good thing that has happened since, every leap forward, every decision that I'm proud of, every single one of them had that exact same feeling attached to it. The stress was not the problem, my interpretation of it was. And there's research that backs this up in a way that really caught my attention when I first came across it. A study tracked 30,000 adults in the US over 8 years. They asked two questions: how much stress have you experienced this year? And do you believe stress is harmful to your health? Then they tracked who died, and this is what they found. People who experienced high levels of stress had a 43% increased risk of dying. But that was only true for people who believed stress was harmful. People who experienced the same high levels of stress but didn't view it as harmful, no increased risk at all. Some of the lowest mortality rates in the entire study. The researchers estimated that over those 8 years, 182,000 Americans died prematurely. Not from stress, but from the belief that stress was bad for them. And think about what that means. Your relationship with stress, my relationship with stress, is more important than the danger of stress itself. So this video was not about how to have less stress in your life. It's about how to change what stress means to you. Because the moment that shifts, the same feeling that used to slow you down starts working in your favor. So let's get into it. You can have two people and they are in the very same room and the same stakes are on the line. Whether it's the pitch that decides your quarter, the conversation you've been dreading all week, or the decision worth more than all the other decisions that you have made combined. And one person can be rattled and the other person can be absolutely dialed in. They can be locked in. Now, your instinct might be to assume that the second person is just built differently, that they're just naturally a calm person. But that's not the case. It's the same moment, but there are two completely different worlds at play here. The first person, their heart is racing, their mind is scattered, and their attention is all over the place. But the second person, their heart is steady, their mind is clear, and they're fully locked in, and they are in the present moment. Nothing around them is different, okay? Their external circumstances are the exact same. They're in the same room. What's different is everything inside them, That difference decides who performs as well. Don't get this wrong, okay? How calm you are in high stakes moments determines how well you perform, if you get the commission, the bonus, the promotion, the success. So where does it actually come from? Well, the difference is the story that you tell yourself. Pay attention to this, it's really important. Person one feels the pressure and thinks, something is wrong, I'm not ready, this is going badly. But person two feels the exact same pressure and they think, I'm ready, this is it, it's showtime. It's a completely different story that they are telling themselves, but the situation is the same, okay? Same moment, two completely different conclusions. And whatever story you tell yourself, your body follows, right? So if you tell it that there is a threat, then blood will leave your brain, your thinking will narrow, you rush, you force it, you're needy, and you're not going to get the desired outcome that you want, whether this is in your career or in your personal life. But if you tell your body that you are ready, you stay calm, you read the room, you're centered, you see the thing you would have missed. If maybe you're in a meeting or maybe you're on a sales call or you're trying to close a deal in law, you pick up on nonverbal cues, for example, that you would otherwise miss if you weren't in the present moment, if you weren't telling your body a positive story as to what stressful situations actually are. So, and this happens in a split second without you even noticing, right? It's the same feeling, but two completely different outcomes. The World Cup was on recently. Spain beat Argentina, and let's take this example. If you picture a football player walking out of the tunnel during that World Cup final, if we think of Messi, right? For example, everybody knows Messi, he's the example I'll give. Over 80,000 people in the stadium, over 1 billion people watching at home around the world. The biggest moment of his life, the biggest moment of all these players' lives. Their heart is hammering. Their legs are alive. They're completely locked in, right? Although there's so many feelings of stress passing through them, they are feeling alive. They take that as a signal that they are ready. They're focused. They're ready to go. And here's the part that should stop you. That feeling that they are feeling is stress. What Messi feels in the tunnel is the same thing that you feel before a hard conversation with your boss, signing something with a scary number on it, maybe like moving into a nice apartment or buying a nice house, or walking into a room where the decision gets made. Potentially you're in a boardroom with, C-level people and you're not really comfortable being in there. It's the same thing. Not similar, it's the same. And your body has one response. It uses that response for World Cup finals and for Tuesday morning meetings. It's the same thing. Now, Messi and all the other footballers, they're not fighting that feeling. They are using it. Let me repeat that. They're not fighting that feeling of stress. They are using it. They're not trying to calm down. They're not trying to make the feeling go away. He's not standing in that tunnel wishing he felt normal, whatever normal is. He's learned to read that feeling as one thing. Readiness. I'm good to go. This is my moment. And the feeling is the fuel. If you take away that feeling, you play worse. And he knows that too. Now, this is trained. It's not just given. As I mentioned, you're not just born a naturally calm person who doesn't care in the big moments and you're just zen 100% of the time. Very rare, at least. Okay? It comes from years of repetition and consistent pressure. From being in that state so often, his body stopped reading it as danger. His nervous system is no different from yours. It's available to you. Where I'm going with this, you can train it. When you see elite performers, actors, musicians, whoever it is, and they seem so composed, you can be like that too in whatever domain you are operating. And it starts in the same place. The story you tell yourself about the feeling, whether it's stress or a different feeling passing through you. So look back at your own life. Think of the moments you felt that tightness the strongest, whether it was a new role, a new city you moved to, or the first time you signed for something, the first time you put your name down on something that made you feel nervous. Not everyday busyness, but like real things that have substance. And in those moments, there is a pattern. Everyone marked a step up, okay? Elevating, progression in your life. Each one was you stepping past what you had already mastered. That feeling isn't something breaking, it's what growing feels like from the inside, okay? It isn't comfortable, and it was never supposed to be. Stress shows up where growth is. If you don't feel any sense of stress in your life, then it's probably a signal that you're not growing, whether financial, career, relationships, whatever it might be. So flip how you read all of this. If that feeling shows up every time you step up a level, then it's not a warning, it is confirmation that you are leveling up. It stops being something you run from and it becomes something you move toward. It's telling you, yes, I am in the right place. This is where the growth is. This is so important. This reframe is everything. I'm in the right place. This feeling of stress passing through me is where growth is. Okay? And this isn't just positive thinking, right? This isn't just shouting affirmations into the mirror, although there is a time and a place for that. This is just an accurate reading of the signal. And it cuts the other way too. If you've built a life where that feeling never shows up, as I said, you haven't beaten stress. Just because you feel zen the whole time is actually probably a signal that you are not growing, that you are not challenging yourself anymore. Now, am I saying you need to be zen all day, every day? Or am I saying that you need to be feeling stress all day, every day? Of course not. That would be nonsensical. You need times to reset, to relax, to rejuvenate. But, you know, you don't want to stop growing, is where I'm going with this. Now, everything is familiar because nothing is new. That's how you feel when you're not leveling up. You've built a life that fits the old version of you fairly perfectly. And the dangerous part of that is that it can look like success from the outside. So let me ask you this really, when did you last feel it, right? Not irritation, not being busy, not being stretched thin, but the real thing. The feeling that something in front of you is bigger than anything you've handled before. Whether it was a sales deal, a new client, an apartment you were moving into, maybe the first time you bought a business class flight and you were shitting yourself because it was 3 to 4 times the cost of economy. Who knows what it was, right? If it was recent, then amazing. That's great. But if you have to think hard about it, then that's information. Answer that question honestly for yourself before you move on. When was the last time you had that feeling of stress passing through you? That kind of nervousness, that feeling in your gut, you know? If it's not recent, you might want to do something about that. So I've had stretches where it was gone, being honest, you know? At the time, it felt like things were going well. Everything was under control. Nothing was breaking. But looking back, I was just going through the motions, living a life I'd already built at a level I had already reached. Nothing was wrong. Nothing was moving either, you know? And this is where we might get into, say, golden handcuffs. You're just satisfied with where you are. For me, it would have been income levels. It would have been apartments that I was living in, maybe friends that I had. Who knows what it was, okay? But we can all relate to this if we're being honest with ourselves. And personally, I only saw it afterwards, okay? And that's the problem with this. Safe and alive aren't the same thing. You need comfort. Without any, you will burn yourself out. But there's a difference between comfort and just standing still, right? Safe means nothing can hurt you. Alive means something is at stake. And we all know what that feeling of truly feeling alive is. When was the last time you really felt that with something challenging in your life? A life can be very safe and completely still and feel like success for years. And it probably looks like success for everybody around you. They're probably telling you you're doing so well, but you know deep inside as to what's left, how much more you have to potentially climb. So the people ahead of you, they feel this more, not less, but more and more often, because they keep putting themselves in situations that are bigger than they are. They've just stopped treating it as a problem years ago. It shows up, they recognize it, but they go anyway. Whether it's the meeting that they don't feel, worthy enough of suggesting, whether it's, I don't know, the date they don't feel high value enough to be asking for, who knows what it is. It's just part of the work that they do now. Now, where does stress actually come from? Here's the distinction that changes everything. Most of what you call stress has nothing to do with the thing in front of you right now. So the situation, the external thing happening. So where is it coming from? It's coming from your thoughts, the story you are telling yourself. What if this goes badly? What if they say no? What if I don't recover? And it comes from running backward. That call went wrong. I should have said something different. I lost that deal. I'm a failure. I'm going to lose every deal in the future. So the weight isn't in the moment itself. It's in the mental commentary about it, whether it's in the past or the future. And neither of those is the real right now, present moment, focus, attention, awareness. The future one hasn't happened, and it probably will never happen, but your body reacts as if it is happening right now. Your body cannot tell the difference between what is real and what is imagined. That's why when you relive maybe past traumas, for example, in your head, you literally begin to feel like you're living that moment all over again. even though you're just imagining it from the past. Okay? It's because when you really vividly imagine something and feel the emotions associated with it, your body can't tell the difference as to whether it's actually happening again or if it's just in your mind. Now, the past one is over. You can't act on it from here. It's done, it's dusted. You are paying a real physical price for two things that aren't even happening. So, whether it's in the past or in the future. Two different things share one word: present moment stress. So, the footballer in the tunnel, something real that is in front of you and you're fully in it. It sharpens you, it's fuel. You want more of it. It makes you feel alive, you're dialed in. It's present moment stress. But then there is mind wandering stress. This is the price of being somewhere else other than right here, right now. And it sharpens nothing. It just wears you down. And it runs in the background all day, every day, in our heads, driving us fucking crazy. That's the case for, I would say, 99.999% of the world. And that second one is what is doing the damage. What's going on in here? So the real work is presence. It's awareness. And the more you are truly in the moment you are in, whether it's this video that you are watching right now, like, are you really here listening to understand what I'm saying, or is it merely going in one ear and out the other? You know? So whether it's this video, whether it's a call, a conversation, a decision, the less room there is for the what if scenarios and the replays of the past, the more present you will be. You're not fighting the thoughts in your head, you're taking up the space that they were using. And look, thoughts, they come and go. The sky is out here, it's a lovely, beautiful, sunny day in London. Thoughts come and go just like planes pass through the sky. What comes and goes cannot be you. I'm having thoughts here. I see a plane going through the sky and it reminds me that plane is my thought and the sky is me. The sky is my awareness. I am awareness. What comes and goes cannot be me. So if a thought is a plane and it comes and goes, those thoughts cannot be me, right? I know that's a bit of a mind fuck, but nonetheless. So that is the picture. Stress is not the enemy. The story that you attach to stress decides everything. That is the potential enemy or friend. And that is what I mean about making stress your best friend. It's reframing the story you tell yourself. So the stress that comes from the moment in front of you, use it as fuel. The stress that comes from your mind wandering, that's the one that is doing the damage. Now, knowing it and doing it are two completely different things. Understanding this is not the same as actually being able to do this in real time in your life, day in, day out. Knowing your heart rate means readiness doesn't help you at 9 a.m., right? On the morning of the biggest call of your quarter, or when your body has already decided it's a threat. So shifting it in real time is a trained skill, and almost nobody has been taught how to do it. That's exactly what this next video is about. It's either going to be up here or here, but watch that next. There's an awful lot you'll take from that in terms of practical advice you can implement now, especially if you enjoyed this video. And if you want to go deeper than that, top link in the description. Feel free to check it out if you might be interested in working with me. I'll see you soon.